What if the truck beside you isn't here to tow, but to humiliate your sports car? One green light, one launch, and suddenly your confidence is gone, left somewhere behind in a cloud of disbelief. Because in 2026, pickup trucks don't chase speed anymore, they own it. And they're coming for every low-slung dream car that ever thought it was untouchable. Speed used to belong to low, loud, expensive machines built just to go fast. That era is over. In 2026, trucks have crossed into forbidden territory, out-accelerating supercars, ripping through physics, and rewriting what performance even means. Today, we're counting down from number 7 to number 1, the fastest real trucks on Earth, machines that bend time, silence engines, terrify traffic lights, and end with a king that doesn't even burn fuel in 2026. Number 7, Ford F-150. Lightning, the quiet threat. It looks like the kind of pickup meant for groceries and hardware runs, and that normal appearance is exactly how it wins. You wait for an engine growl, but hear nothing. And then the road suddenly pulls away beneath you. The Lightning doesn't rise into speed, it hurls you into it without ceremony. There's no roar to prepare your senses, no vibration to warn you, just pure electric force hitting at once. By the time you realize what's happening, the race is already over, and you were never invited. The strangest part is how calm it feels while breaking every expectation you had. It doesn't celebrate its speed, it simply delivers it with chilling efficiency. The silence makes it feel unreal, as if the laws of motion were turned off for a moment. And that quiet confidence is exactly what makes it dangerous. The steering stays innocent while the speed feels criminal. The cabin remains calm while reality outside collapses behind you. And somewhere in the quiet, you realize sound was never the warning. Motion was, but the next truck has no interest in being quiet. Number 6, Ram TRX, the last roaring king. This truck doesn't come to life, it detonates into it. The TRX announces its presence with a roar that rattles confidence as much as windows. When it launches, the road feels like it's being dragged backward in protest. Every shift lands with authority, every rev an audible declaration of power. You're not driving as much as surviving an event. This is not a vehicle for subtlety. It is the last war cry of pure V8 dominance. Fuel disappears without apology, tires protest loudly, and pavement becomes a witness to its fury. It demands attention in a world slowly going silent, and it refuses to feel outdated for even a second. This is a truck built out of defiance, loud, proud, and utterly unstoppable. And its presence alone feels like a farewell tour for an endangered species. Even idling, it feels impatient. Even cruising, it sounds like it's plotting. And when it stops, you realize silence now feels wrong, and Ford refused to let Ram hold the crown alone. Number 5, Ford F-150 Raptor R War Machine in disguise. This truck feels as though it was built for a world where roads are optional and escape is survival. The launch hits like a wave, sudden, unstoppable, and disorienting. The suspension floats in defiance of gravity, while the engine roars like it's trying to outrun time itself. Everything feels alive beneath you, reacting instantly to every input. It doesn't just move fast, it demands control. And the frightening part is how easy it makes chaos feel. The steering invites confidence, but only for the brave. The body leans into every command like it understands danger better than comfort. You're not just navigating terrain, you're commanding it. And that feeling is dangerously addictive. Your senses sharpen as if you've entered another mode. The environment blurs as speed and survival overlap. And every second convinces you this truck was built for something bigger than roads. But someone still wasn't satisfied with mere control. Number 4, Hennessy Mammoth 1000 Madness with a license plate. This truck exists for one reason. Someone decided the factory limits were an insult. Every touch of the throttle feels criminal, like you've stepped into territory humans weren't meant to explore in a pickup. It doesn't build speed, it erupts into it, snapping your senses into survival mode instantly. The engine doesn't perform, it rebels. Your heartbeat scrambles to keep pace as the world shrinks around you at an unreasonable rate. This isn't daily transport, it's controlled chaos riding on four wheels. You don't measure it in horsepower, you measure it in courage. The cabin feels too small for the energy trying to escape the hood. The road becomes a blur of consequences you barely have time to process. Fear and excitement fuse into a single electric thrill, and suddenly letting off the throttle feels harder than pressing it. Every mile feels like crossing a boundary. Every launch feels like a warning ignored. And every second tells you this truck was never meant to behave politely. And then electricity answered with something even more terrifying. Number 3, GMC HUMMER EV Pickup. A skyscraper that can sprint. Nothing this massive should move this fast. And that's exactly why it feels unreal. Inside, it feels less like a vehicle and more like a mobile fortress with rockets hidden underneath. When it launches, your body reacts before your mind understands what just happened. The sideways motion challenges your balance. The forward surge challenges your belief system. Size means nothing here. Acceleration tells the entire truth. It's not fast for something heavy, it's fast, period. This is what happens when weight stops being a weakness and becomes a weapon. The silence of its launch makes the violence even more unsettling. Each movement feels deliberate, almost calculated by something unseen. You're no longer driving, you're commanding mass itself. And once it moves, there's no pretending this makes sense. The cabin feels sealed off from reality as the outside world compresses into streaks. The display boards glow like a cockpit preparing for takeoff. And every launch leaves you wondering how something this enormous learned to move like this. But science wasn't finished bending the future. Number 2, Tesla Cybertruck Cyberbeast. The future arrived angry. The Cyberbeast doesn't look normal, and it absolutely does not behave normally. Every sharp edge feels intentional, every movement feels calculated, and every launch feels wrong in the most fascinating way possible. It doesn't accelerate, it removes distance from existence. Your eyes track where it was, not where it is, and your brain lags behind, trying to accept what just happened. It feels less like driving a truck and more like unleashing technology that arrived too early. You're not inside a vehicle, you're inside a statement. The world blurs into geometry and light when it moves. Nothing about it feels organic, yet everything about it feels unstoppable. It challenges comfort the same way it challenges physics. And when it disappears, it leaves the future echoing behind it. The steering feels digital, yet brutally direct in response. The cabin glows like a prototype that escaped the laboratory, and every stop feels temporary, as if it's already planning the next leap forward. But the true king never needed to make noise. Number 1, Rivian R1T Quad. Motor the undisputed king. No roar, no theatrics, no warnings. When it launches, the world simply gives up and falls behind. The acceleration feels surgical, too clean, and too precise to be natural. Silence becomes a soundtrack to humiliation as sports cars fade into irrelevance. It hauls gear, climbs terrain, and then humiliates hypercars without changing its expression. That's what makes it terrifying. There is no drama here, only execution. This isn't raw power, this is perfected power. Every movement feels intentional, as if the machine already knows what you're about to do. Control arrives effortlessly, without tension or struggle. It never rushes, yet nothing escapes it. This isn't speed-chasing victory, this is dominance wearing calm. The cabin wraps around you like a pilot's seat, calm in the chaos. Even at full launch, everything feels composed and deliberate. And when it stops, it doesn't cool down. It waits. And if this is where trucks are today, imagine what's coming next. In 2026, trucks haven't just evolved, they've taken over, erasing the line between supercars and pickups and bringing supercar speed into everyday machines. The scariest part isn't how fast they are, it's how normal they look while breaking every rule. And if this is what trucks can do now, imagine what the future is already preparing next. Before you go, smash that like button like one of these trucks launches off the line and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next wave of insane machines. Drop a comment with the truck you'd pick and why, and remember, in 2026, Cars don't lead anymore, trucks do.